shoes, seats and 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 shoes. My shoe game may be different, but my seat is still the same. My shoe game may be different, but my seat is still the same. My shoe game may be different, but my seat is still the same. Sundays off of sneakers, I'm walking in faith.
So what's up, babe? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
You looking good.
Oh, thank you. Glad to have you here on the conversation with me.
I'm glad to be here on today.
You so churchy. So I want to do an icebreaker.
Okay.
I want to do an icebreaker first, just to warm us up a little bit, get our juices to flowing.
Come on.
Of course, we all wear tennis shoes.
Yes.
You may wear Adidas, you may wear Jordans, but we all wear tennis shoes.
Yes.
It is a part of the tennis shoe that is very important that most people have no idea what it is or
Really?
what's the name of it.
Really?
Yeah, so I want to see if you know the name. So the part of the tennis shoe is the shoelace, the top of the shoelace. Do you know the name of that?
The top of the shoelace.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Try to guess. When you think of that little string at the very top of the shoelace that you use to navigate to make your shoestrings come across.
Oh, my. Is it a navigate? I don't know what you would call it.
Have you ever thought about it?
I've never really thought about it. All I think about the shoestring and the tongue. Is that what they call it?
No, they call it the aglet.
The aglet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So next time you put your shoestrings through, what you gonna call it?
The aglet?
The aglet.
That's why I stick with alligators and loafers. And I don't fool with the shoestring. The sneakers all the time.
Well, show him his sneakers. Let us see the sneakers he got on today.
I got these. My wife bought them for me.
Do you know what?
She didn't even ask me. She just bought them for me.
Do you know what they call, babe?
These are called Air Force One. Now, these ain't no Air Force One. No, these Jordan. Are they Jordans?
Yes, babe.
Okay.
You got on you some Jordans.
Yeah, the Air Force Ones are the ones with the little thing on the shoestring.
What?
The little metal part.
Oh, okay.
It say Air, because you bought me some Nikes one time.
Don't talk about it.
And I thought they were some Air Force One, and I was walking around. Time I had some.
What
my
are you
wife
talking
bought me some
about?
Air Force
Okay, let's
Ones,
get into the conversation.
And didn't realize that
Babe.
the Air Force Ones with the thing with
Babe.
the little metal part. I'm just saying.
But you look good in them.
Oh, well, thank you.
You really did.
I try.
But I definitely just, want to appreciate you seriously for being my first guest on my show. Honestly, had I not been married to you, I wouldn't even have seats and shoes. So I just appreciate you for choosing me, for loving me, and for helping me to bring my vision to life. I really do appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you as well. Which, it is a pleasure being married to you.
Wow.
If I hadn't been married to you, I wouldn't have some of the stuff I have going on either.
Oh, wow.
So, that's why we complete each other.
Absolutely. What if the beard gang was on here?
We enhance each other.
If the beard gang was on here, what would they say?
Successful marriage.
Oh, successful marriage. Yeah. Well, let's get into the conversation, okay? Mm-hmm. Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm ready.
Let's go.
I'm ready. Be ready at all times.
Oh, my. So churchy. So tell us about yourself. Of course, some may know, some might not know about your wife, your kids, Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Well, of course, I'm Jontrell Hill, and I'm married to the beautiful Quinetria Hill. Mm-hmm. I call her Peaches. That's my nickname for her. Some other people call her Pumbaa or Pumbaa.
Yeah.
That's her childhood nickname.
Yeah.
This October will make 9 years of us being married.
Absolutely.
We have 4 beautiful boys, Isaac, Israel, Josiah, and Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm their daddy, but I just had a brain fart with their names. There's so many of them. But we have 4 beautiful boys. Yeah. Of course, we are assistant pastors at Dominion Power Family Life Center, Petal and Wiggins. I've been in ministry going on 27 years. I've been preaching since the age of 4.
Wow.
And so, been in ministry most of my life. I have 3 sisters as well that's under me.
Yeah.
And so that's just a little bit about me. I own Preaching Pig Barbecue. For those of you that don't know, barbecue's so good that it touches your soul. Okay? So I am the owner of that, and there's so many other things that I
crazy.
do. So many other things that I do.
Yeah.
I'm one of the writers of this great show that we have to.
Oh, you be
a
writing?
part of it. Yeah, I write a little this, a little that. You know,
Okay.
seats and shoes. You know.
Oh, okay. I appreciate you for writing.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, thank you.
Whenever
Glory
you
be
get
to
done
God.
writing, let me see it.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I appreciate you though. So do you mind telling the audience about your journey in ministry?
Yes, I'll definitely share that. When I was 3 years old, I had a dream, and I woke up from that dream and told my mom and my dad. It was on a Sunday morning. I told them, I said, God told me to repent for being stiff-necked, disobedient, and rebellious.
At 3 years old?
At 3 years old, and that God had called me to preach and to be his prophet.
Wow.
And my mama, she wasn't a minister at the time. And my father, he was the head deacon at the time.
Yeah.
And my former pastor, Apostle Delia Seymour, she was a pastor, and she, at that time, all the ministers marched in with her. Every Sunday, they would march in from the back. And so when they went into her office for the ministerial meeting, I went in at 3 years old. I went into her office too, because God told me Saturday night that he had called me to be a preacher and to lay hands on the sick, and they told me that I was going to be his prophet.
Yeah.
And so I repented to my mom and daddy that Sunday, and I went into the office because I'm heading out. This is what God called me to do now Saturday night.
At 3 years old?
At 3 years old.
Wow.
And so when my mom saw my little head march in the office, she sent my daddy to go get me. And by the time my daddy got into the office, the pastor, Apostle Seymour, she rebuked him and said, this baby said at 3 years old, by that time I had already told her the story, that God called him to preach. Who am I to stop him from preaching the gospel? And so from that time to now, I have been preaching the gospel. Of course, at 10 years old, I came into Dominion and Power Family Life Center under the chief apostle, Apostle Paul L. Beard. And of course, he took me under his wing, and he had me all in Hamburg, Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas, all in Virginia, all over the place. I've been somewhere everywhere because of him and Lady Donald Beard's ministry.
Yeah.
And so now everything has come full circle, and now I am the assistant pastor serving in the ministry that they founded.
Right.
So that's just a little bit of my journey in ministry.
Yeah. So it's not foreign to you at all to see our boys.
No. It's not foreign. That's what I was telling people. My sons, for those that don't know, we are the parents of the Holy Hills.
Baby. Holy Hills.
The Holy Hills. And, some people, it's foreign to see children that young singing about Jesus, singing about in the church, active in the church.
Yeah.
But it's not foreign to me.
Right.
Because God used me at the younger age to minister the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Right.
To thousands of people. I can remember one church I went to in Arkansas. It was people all out in the. They had to turn people away because they could not fit enough people in the church because the church was filled to capacity. And so it's not foreign to me for me to see that in my children.
Yeah. Yeah, you was serious about that thing.
Yes, indeed.
Still is, baby.
Still
Baby,
is.
don't play
Serious
about
it. I've been running for Jesus a mighty long time, and I'm not tired yet.
Paper Bible say.
I'm paper Bible saved, not iPad saved, not iPhone saved. I'm paper Bible saved.
That is so funny to
Yes,
me.
indeed.
So how did we become a thing? Because
Ooh.
that ain't my story.
Woo.
That ain't my story.
I think you might want to start that off because we didn't have no DM back in the day. So you didn't slide in my DM,
Yeah.
but you did slide in my little Nokia. yeah. You did. You
What
slid,
you mean I slid in your Nokia?
You slid in my little Nokia. You know the little Nokia phone that we used to have, the little track phones we used to have back in the day.
Okay, well, I'll tell my side of the story
Okay, you
first.
tell
How
your
about
side.
that?
Yeah, tell your side.
So basically, what I can remember is you were emceeing a program at our church, Dominion Power. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was riding a van, and I was just, I don't want to say fell in love, but I guess I just admired who you were at such a young age. Mm-hmm. And even at a young age, I knew what I wanted, you know what I'm saying, for my life. Yeah. Outside of, the preaching and stuff. But just, I could tell you were a great guy, family man, all of that. So I was like, hey, when I got on the van that night, I was like, hey, this is going to be my husband.
Yes, indeed.
Mind you,
yes, indeed.
You had no idea who I was.
I did not.
Probably had never seen me. But I knew in that moment you were going to be my husband.
That's right.
And so I got on the van being bold, probably loud, country, ghetto, telling everybody, hey, y'all, that's going to be my husband. Dude didn't even know me. Did not. A good friend of mine at the time, she was tired of me talking about you. Like, I was just talking about you all the time. And so at that time, I believe you and her were pretty close. Mm-hmm. And she pretty much just lied to me because she was tired of me talking about you. And she was like, he's told me to tell you to text him. And so I text you, and what you say?
Well, when you text me, you was like, you just told me your name, and you was like, you just saw me, and you just gave me a hug, and I'm trying to figure out who is this. I'm like, baby, I done hugged 100,000 people.
Well, not 100,000 people.
Well, it wasn't 100,000 people.
Yeah, because it definitely
but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people, though.
But not 100,000.
Okay, probably like 200 people.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe 150.
So, okay, maybe 150.
75.
Okay, no, 150. It was 150. Anyway, I just hugged, all these people. I hugged everybody.
Yeah.
Who are you? And then she messed around and sent a picture. Now, these Nokia phones, so the picture was like jumbled up real small. You really couldn't see nothing. And I think the picture she sent me, she had on this huge wig.
No, I did not. That was my real hair.
Oh, that was your real hair?
I was not wearing no wigs back then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was my real hair.
Oh, okay.
I remember exactly where I was when I sent you that picture.
Okay.
I was at Pillar Skate Ring.
All right. Yeah. Well, anyway, I didn't know who she was. Whether it was real, fake, I didn't know. Okay. I didn't know who she was, and I was like, okay. She told me that our mutual friend had gave her a number, and I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, I got a girlfriend right now, but you could be my little sister in Christ. That's what I told her.
Friends on me real quick.
Yeah, I put you in the friend zone because I was at a young age. I was a one-woman man.
At a young age?
Yeah.
What are you now?
I'm a one-woman
man.
man.
You said at a young age.
No, I'm saying it started at a young age.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Make it clear. Make it clear.
That's what I'm saying. Baby, you the only lady. Come on now.
Okay.
Come on.
I had to bring it in.
My mama didn't play them games. So she raised me that way from a young age. So I was like, you could be my little sister in Christ. I'm with somebody right now. And
so you didn't have no interest in me even then?
Not really. Not really.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So do you remember the transition into us becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. I mean, I know we were like talking,
Yes.
often as your sister.
Yes.
You know.
Well, I saw different virtues in you that I knew that I wanted in a wife. Even with us coming up as friends, I saw your loyalty, your big heart, and your consistency, your persistence, because you never let up off of me.
Boy, don't do too much.
No, I'm
Don't
just,
do too
I'm
much.
just being real. you know, and I like those virtues that I saw in you even then. No matter what happened in my life, so many things transition and happen in my life. You were always there. And what more could a man ask for at that point, even with looking for a wife, to see somebody that can see you in some of their worst and most vulnerable moments, and be there for you and love you, what we thought was love. It was, puppy love, whatever, they call it. But in those moments, you were a friend, the greatest of friends. A lot of girlfriends at that time, if I may, they thought they were going to be first ladies and this and that, and they thought they were just going to sit on the front row and wear a big hat, but you did not see any of that when you saw me. You saw me as a person.
Yeah.
And so that for me was more valuable than anything. But you could have even offered physically, because you're beautiful and all of that,
Yeah, make it right.
You're a dime plus 99. Come on now, hello.
My God.
But just those virtues that I saw for you, even at a young age,
Wow.
really helped me to make my choice. And it was easy
Yeah.
because when I committed to you, I cut everybody off.
So you had other people?
I mean,
Because I'm confused. You just said you.
well, that was I'm talking about. I had my options open by the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Make it.
I had a few people,
Yeah.
and then I was like, no, I don't want none of that.
Oh.
Yeah, I want my wife.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
See now, the truth ain't coming out on this podcast. Is
No,
it?
I mean, but come on now.
Okay, let's make sure. So our final, before we actually got serious, before we got married, we both were, well, you more so than I, was going through a lot of transitions, and I can remember I was at a red light and we were arguing. You was like, I'm done with you. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I could be your friend. I can't offer you nothing else. And I was like, I'm done with you too.
Yep.
You
I was
know?
actually at a red light too.
Really?
Yeah, I really was.
Wow, you never told me that.
Yeah, I was a security guard at nighttime in the projects. Y'all didn't know that. See, I'm about that life.
Boy.
Y'all didn't know that.
So we were done. We both had made it. Hey, I'm done. You're going to see other people. I'm going to see other people. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't even a year later.
Few months.
A few months. Mm-hmm. You hadn't asked me to marry you.
Yeah, that's true.
And then a few months after that,
We were married. And the rest is history. 4 kids later.
4 kids
9
later.
years later.
Oh, Jesus. 9 years later, we're still here.
That's right.
Successful marriage.
Successful marriage.
So when you think of expectations, what do you think about?
When I think of expectations, I think, if I could say this about expectations, I believe that expectations are a great thing. I believe the breakdown in a lot of relationships is the failure to communicate expectations. I know some people think that the number one reason for a lot of marriages and stuff failing is money. We get different articles that say that, but really, if you dig into the root behind the money, it's the expectations. what do you expect of me, if such and such happened? The planning and all of that into a marriage, And so I think expectations and even communicating those in any type of relationship is very vital.
Right.
Now, I think it's a dangerous thing, and this is something that I had to kind of learn, is when you communicate those expectations, when you try to micromanage the manifestation of those expectations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I think that's where, and I know I can speak for myself, where I kind of messed up.
Really?
Yes.
Absolutely. I agree. So, what were your expectations for me? You said, I was, a friend to you, but even while being together, did you ever think about the expectations of me as a leading lady or your leading lady? I think we talked about it once before, how honestly, and this is how I knew I really rolled a short butts. I never thought that you were a pastor. You remember me telling you that?
Yeah.
I knew you were a preacher. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, you get a few engagements, I go support you, But nothing in my mind ever clicked that you would be a pastor. And it had to be God, because if I knew that, and it's crazy because anybody that have known you for years, you know what I'm saying? They call you preacher man. Most people call you their pastors, but for me, I guess because I knew you as a friend, you know what I'm saying? It just never clicked, So for you, did you have any expectations of me?
Well, I did have expectations for my wife coming in, because I knew that, eventually God was going to take me there, because he showed me that, didn't know the route, didn't know the journey too.
Right.
But I knew that inevitably, if I said that right, that's a big word.
Baby, that tongue got to turn.
That I would end up, there. Didn't know how soon, didn't know what stage of life it would be. And especially when God did release that place in our lives for me to be an assistant pastor. It came at a time when we were going through a lot of transition.
Man, what?
And so, but to get back to your first question.
Which even in that, you know what I'm saying, although we were going through a lot of transition, you knew that's what God was calling you to in that moment.
Yes. I knew that was where God was calling me. I was trying to get away from it. I was trying to run. But I knew that that's where God wanted me to, where he was taking me to.
Yeah.
And so I did have an expectation, I would say, of my wife in general. The example, of course, I took after was that of our founding mother, elect Lady Donna Beer. She is a powerhouse of a woman of God.
Yeah, and you want to be a miniature Kaylin Carr.
Yeah, well, I wanted you to be a mini Dr. Whitey the Bino. I wanted you to just breathe in the microphone and people, because what I wanted essentially.
Not breathe in the microphone.
Yeah, I wanted you just people.
And
just
people
fall
would.
out. Just what I essentially thought I wanted, which I did want. I wanted, first of all, let me just say that I wanted a partner.
Yeah.
Somebody that could not just hear for accolades or just to say you're a first lady, but I wanted somebody that would be able to get in the trenches with me.
Yeah.
And so, but I had my idea. Now that's where we mess up.
Yeah.
Of what it looked like.
Right, absolutely.
Not understanding that God knows what's best. I thought my idea of what that looked like was you wearing a collar. Was you wearing your cross?
Not a cross.
Your pictorial cross. Was you, having the microphone and your prayer shawl. And you breathing in the microphone and people falling out. That was my idea.
Yeah.
of my expectation.
So a collar?
Yeah, a clergy collar. That represents the yoke, being a bond servant of Jesus Christ.
A chain?
Yeah, pectoral cross that you're supposed to wear over your pectoral bone. Some of y'all just put on anything, but we're not going to talk about that.
How was my hair?
How was your hair? You did have purple hair back then. Oh, you talking about? Oh, your hair always been, you know how to wear hair now.
Okay.
Yeah, all of it. Malaysia.
Who?
I said Malaysia. You know how to wear any of it, baby.
Okay. So, but when I did not meet your expectations, how did you go about that?
It was a growing process for me because I had to get the understanding that God was in control of everything. And like I said, did not want to, I had to learn to take my hands out of it because I was in a frustrated place because I'm like, this is not my idea.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Of what this partnership looked like.
Yeah.
Not even having an understanding that there was greater. God was doing something different and greater because you are a person that know everybody. I mean, we can't go anywhere in Hattiesburg, Mississippi without somebody talking to my wife. Not even understanding that me coming into a new city, you gave relevance to me. My ideal is trying to make, you relevant, trying to conform you into my image instead of letting you conform it to his image of who he wants you to be.
Come on.
I feel like running.
My God.
I feel like tearing this studio up.
Don't tear it up.
I feel like running. But I had to learn, and it was a learning experience for me. That, hey, you got to take this. I got something even greater than what your ideal is.
Yeah.
And you got to submit to what I'm trying to do in her life.
Yeah.
Because, you have your own ideal, but I'm going to put my hand in it and make this even greater than what you even think.
Yeah.
And right now, this wasn't my idea.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting in his ideal for your life.
Come on.
His manifestation of your life.
Come on.
I'm on your platform right
Ooh.
now. In sneakers. I'm not in my clergy collar today. I don't have on my pectoral cross or my apron. My all black.
Your bishop suit.
My bishop suit. That's what my wife called it. I don't have on my clergy ring. I do have on my wedding. But I'm on your platform right now.
Yeah.
And this is all good because it's all God, And so I had to submit to his will.
Thank you guys so very much for watching. If you like this conversation, hey, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, my shoe game is different, but my seat is still the same. We'll see you guys soon.